So what'd you find out at your doctor's visit?
Well, after 2 weeks of feeling like crap, he says, or she says, that I've got bronchitis and a touch of pneumonia. Now, I thought I had one or the other, so it kind of surprised me. So as I'm absorbing that, trying to figure out what that's going to do to my workout schedule, she's telling me about the prescription she's going to write and all that, and I'm somewhat listening to it. And then, out of the blue, she asked me the question, do you get flu injections? Well, as you all know, I've got a little bit of hearing problem, even with my hearing aids, and I wasn't paying attention. So whereas she asked the question, do you get flu injections? I heard, do you get full erections? Somewhat on different pages there. And hearing that, it startled me, and I said, that's a pretty bold and personal question that you pose. She kind of looked at me oddly. She says, well, not really. She goes, our nurses like to know all that information. We want to make sure you're healthy and well. And I'm thinking about the repercussion of it. So are you concerned that I'm going to get lightheaded and pass out? Is that where we're going with this? And she said, well, come to think of it, some people do. I'm thinking, they do? She said, yes, that's quite normal, and we address that. I thought, that's very odd. I'm 65, never experienced that. So as I'm running that through my mind, she hits me up with round two. When was the last time you had one? And I looked like, oh my God, didn't we just talk about this personal line there? When was the last time I had one? I said, well, I guess, again, that's a little personal. But I hate to say it's been years and years on there. And we'll kind of keep this between us here, hickory dickory doc. At this point, I'm getting a little bit miffed with her with these questions. And she said, well, I'm here to inform you as the medical staff that we highly encourage you to get one anytime the opportunity comes up. Boom. At this point, I said, sister, we're on the same page. I said, I think I finally understand where you're going. We had a little bonding there. A little bonding at that point. Now, I need to reiterate. It goes back, she is talking about her question, do you get flu injections? I'm responding to, do you get full erections? Different platforms there. So as I'm feeling this bonding moment, she jumps stratospheres. She goes, Randy, I got a little time. Do you want me to give you one now? She goes, it's just a little prick. So many thoughts going through my mind. The first one being, and I kept it in my bubble, I'm intrigued what kind of technique she's got in mind. Know what I mean? I didn't state that one. But I did respond to the first one saying, well, I'll have to ask my wife, but I'm sure she won't have an issue with that. And then secondly, which I really held firm on, was, I can assure you, ma'am, with 100% confidence, it is not a little prick. She didn't back away a bit. She said, and I can reassure you, from what I've assessed, and all my nurses back there, they would all state that it's just a little prick. So we were at a little bit of impasse there. And so, as I'm eyeing her, she's eyeing me. She says, so what's going to be this your last chance? Do you want me to give you the flu injection? I said, what? Can you say that again? She said, do you want me to give you the flu injection? I said, would that be administered with a needle that would produce a little prick? She said, that's what it'd be. She said, I'm ready. Give it to me. So, Carol, where I'm going with this is note to self. Perhaps we can set up an appointment with my hearing aid specialist next week. I think I need some adjustments.
Yeah, I think you do too.
There we go. Randy out.